Hello and welcome to the United Stand this Saturday evening. Change of plan to the show, some serious news around Sir Alex Ferguson. Sorry for the audio issues and everything like that, but I think it's important that we do go live as a community because there's a lot of things floating around, and the reality is there was one tweet out from Simon Stone, who's a very good journalist close to Manchester United early on, that said this: Sir Alex Ferguson has undergone emergency surgery today for a brain hemorrhage. The procedure has gone very well, but he needs a period of intensive care to optimise his recovery, and that is of course a concern. But look. As I was saying to somebody just before we went live there, that I can't imagine life without Sir Alex Ferguson in it. Now, that's not real. That's not real because everybody ultimately, the one certainty in life is death. But a world without Sir Alex Ferguson in it is like a family member. And Manchester United is a massive part of everybody's life. It is a community, and Sir Alex Ferguson has been a massive part of that. So when we get news like this evening, it isn't very nice, but there is hopefully some positive there. Manchester United have released a statement as well. They've said that at this time the families asked for some privacy. Look, there's no point in speculating. The reality is it could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot better. We might not have even been having this news tonight. But the reality is Sir Alex Ferguson is seriously ill. He is in intensive care, but the procedure has gone well in relation to the brain hemorrhage. And all the rumours and all the nasty stuff that's out there, well, that can be resolved, can't it? That can be resolved. Look, the reality is it's difficult. We were planning on doing something very, very different tonight, and I wish we were talking about big transfers and stuff like that. But this is news that, look, I really didn't actually really want to spend long going live about it, but a few people messaged me, we spoke about it and said, look, there's a Manchester United fan base that's worldwide. They won't necessarily have the news that we've got. They might be listening to rumour. They might be out on their night. So the whole purpose of this is just to go live and to give you an update on it. And it's Simon Stone, BBC journalist. You should give him a follow on Twitter anyway. Pretty much anything that he says about Manchester United comes true. And on something like this, there were people tweeting stuff out who are journalists, but that wanting to be first. I want to be the first with this news, but I don't actually know what the news is. So it was like, oh, I'm hearing serious illness. I'm hearing this, that, and the other. And it caused a lot of upset in the Manchester United community because this is Sir Alex Ferguson and this is Mr. Manchester United, the greatest sports manager there's ever been, probably one of the greatest managers there's ever been. For people of our generation, it's just ridiculously sad and worrying and concerning. And it's not something to play for retweets. It's not something to try and be first about. Be fucking accurate about it. Don't be first. Get it right. And unfortunately, that journalist obviously had heard something, but they didn't give us the whole story. Simon Stone gets it from Manchester United and puts it out there. That's proper journalism. That's proper journalism, getting the proper story, putting it out there and putting fans at ease. So I applaud him for that. Give him a follow. Fantastic journalist, and actually gave some clarity in a time when people were just chucking all sorts of stuff out. We know he's had this bleed on the brain was being mentioned. That can be a worrying thing. We know he's had that, and we know that he's had the procedure. And as I say from the start, this is now from Manchester United as well. Sir Alex Ferguson's had a brain hemorrhage. It's a serious condition, but he's had the operation. It's gone very, very well, and he's now in intensive care for the road to recovery. And the family have asked for some privacy around that. So as a Manchester United fan base, I think we, obviously cliche, whatever, we all need to pray and hope for Sir Alex. And I'm hopeful that it's going to be well. He's going to be well. I mean, who am I to say that? Who am I to say that? The reality is, I know as much as you lot, and I hope he's going to be very well as well and get better. But it's a reminder of life. Life is precious, and death comes at you fast. And look, we're thankfully we're not talking about this Saturday night. We're not. There is a good chance that Sir Alex Ferguson's going to be okay, but it just hammers home what a great man he is and what he has done for Manchester United. He is Mr. Manchester United with Sir Bobby Charlton. They're the two that are still around that really are what this club is all about and understand what it's about. And we've just got to all come together and pray and hope that Sir Alex gets better, because that's the main thing, isn't it? it's a concern. It's a concern, but fingers crossed. These things happen. People have brain hemorrhages, and they're absolutely fine. So hopefully he's going to be okay. The hospital have said, or there's a released statement from Manchester United to say that it's gone well. He's in intensive care for recovery now, and fingers crossed. And there'll be a lot of love and there'll be a lot of support, because we have got a fantastic fan base, and everybody in football will come together for him as well. Because regardless of whatever, he is undoubtedly the best football manager ever. You could argue ever, but this time it's about, he's a fighter as well, and we're all hoping. So just to clarify, a couple of hours ago, some rumours going around that Sir Alex Ferguson was seriously ill. Some people feeling that they had to jump the gun and be first with half a story. Idiots, absolutely bloody idiots. I'm not even going to give them steam off my you-know-what by naming them. But Simon Stone was the first one that I saw. BBC Manchester United correspondent came out with the accurate story that then Manchester United, he got it from them. They've then released it. Sir Alex Ferguson has had a brain hemorrhage. He's had an operation. It's gone very well. And he's now in intensive care for recovery. And the family have asked for some privacy at this time. So that is what we know to be the truth. And that is what we cling on to. A lot of people will be very, very upset. And that's one of the reasons we've gone live as well. Difficult decision to do that. But, you can't just have the good. You can't just have the transfers. You can't just have the cup wins. At a time like this, we've got a big community, and the Manchester United fan base is an even bigger community. And if this gives people a chance to come together live and just feel that they can be with other United fans, then it serves a positive. I don't really. I had a lot I was going to talk about other things that just don't bloody matter. I don't give a shit where we are in the league. I don't care how our tactics were. I don't really care. I'd lose 10-0 for the rest of the season if Sir Alex is okay, and as would all of you. Like, it really pales into significance. I couldn't give a shit about Fellaini signing a new contract. It just doesn't matter. Great man. He's only in his early 70s. He's not been retired that long. We want him around our club, well and happy, with a smile on his face for many years to come. He's been a brilliant ambassador for the club afterwards as well. And all the best. I'm just going to take some of your comments now, because I've said all I wanted to say, and it's a difficult thing to be live doing something like this anyway, because I'm not sure it's right. But we have got a big community, and I know there's a lot of the real reason is there's a lot of people out there who don't have the accurate story to this, and the accurate story is that Sir Alex Ferguson has been seriously ill, but he's in hospital, he's been operated on, he's in the right place, he's having intensive care, and there's a road to recovery back for him now. And he's a fighter. He is a fighter. His whole life. Read his autobiographies. I mean, get out there and read his autobiography. You want to feel something for Sir Alex, read his autobiography tonight and get it offline and just read about the man. A fantastic man. He's a great story beyond Manchester United. What he did at Aberdeen, his family life, hard-working, working-class man, worked his way up to the top, the very, very top, and not just a Manchester United manager, a manager in general, how he manages people. He's given talks all around the world about how to manage and motivate people. He's an arm around the shoulder. He's a hairdryer treatment. He's just fantastic, well-educated, refined, loves his wine, loves his paintings, absorbs knowledge. Absolutely fantastic man. And look, obviously he's got a side where he says what he thinks as well. Perfection. Get well soon, Gaffer, says Kyron McAvish. Get a lot of people saying that, and it's just nice that a lot of people can just come together and know that we know it. We know as a footballing world will be praying for him, but as Manchester United fans and the United stand, we can all just come together and just drop a few. Even if you're not watching live, just put a comment below, because there is nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong with feeling like it's a family member. There is nothing wrong with that, because, as I said at the start, I can't imagine life without Sir Alex Ferguson involved. It's like, I remember my mum saying when George Best died, because she'd grown up fancying him, loving Manchester United, and when he died, she was distraught, and a lot of people were. And obviously the Munich tragedy and things like that. These things, to us, Sir Alex Ferguson is our big thing, and Sir Bobby. But Sir Alex Ferguson, Sir Bobby's always been retired, a great figure of what Manchester United's all about. Sir Alex Ferguson, in very recent years, for many of us, has made our dreams come true, has made us proud of this club, has given us such high moments. And of course, that feels when that person is ill and seriously ill, or you feel that you're going to lose them. There's nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong with feeling that, and I think there's a lot of people who feel like that. Even hardened United fans who, you know, they're on Twitter giving it out, banter, whatever they want to call it. You know, even them tweeting stuff and just saying, you know, words fail me when it comes to something like this. So it's difficult. It's difficult, but I think, you know, remain positive. I think the news is good. The news is good, and you know, don't look. What I would say is, it's like the people who do the plane thing. It's like the people who, you know, dislike the videos we do about, you know, Munich and stuff like that. There's always going to be a dickhead out there. Don't give them the steam off your shit with their silly live comments. Just don't ignore them. They're irrelevant. You know, no one's going to give a shit if they have a brain hemorrhage, are they? You know, they're just sad little trolls who are not worth it, and I will not be giving anything more than that. So I'm just looking at the live comments of people getting frustrated by it. Don't worry about it. Be positive. Let the evil dwell in the gutter. Let's think about the positives. Let's think about a man who, regardless of what happens and with this illness, and hopefully will make a full recovery, he is a great man and a legend of life. And that is why everyone's really worried. So he's a winner, says Tarak. He is a winner. And I think, you know, prayers to Sir Alex Ferguson as well. And he's a fighter, says Samuel. Wishing nothing but the best to Fergie and his family, hoping for a speedy recovery for him from a Manchester City fan, says Mike Talks Football. Look, you know, we've all had this. We've all had this. There's been tragedies for other clubs. There's been things that have happened to other clubs. And football, the real football fans will unite behind this. It won't just be Manchester United fans. Everybody will. And you know, that's what it's all about. Nothing else matters around Manchester United other than Sir Alex Ferguson getting better. Yeah, Ben Mills, I don't care if we lose the FA Cup final as long as Sir Alex is okay. That is all that matters. That is all that matters, and it goes without saying. Simply the best, says Phil Foster. Yep, it's Fergie time. For once there is no opposition. We are all united and we are all playing for a last minute goal. One more comeback, says Red Devil Weekly. Well, I don't think it'll even be that. Hopefully it won't even be that. I don't think we're in just going from what's been said, what's been announced, and I can read it out to people now. Sir Alex Ferguson has undergone emergency surgery today for a brain hemorrhage. The procedure has gone very well, but he needs a period of intensive care to optimise his recovery. His family request privacy in this matter. So it sounds to me that the hospital are confident that there is going to be a recovery. We don't know what level that recovery is going to be, but the procedure has gone very, very well, and he needs a period of intensive care to optimise his recovery. Essentially, I'm no doctor, but when it comes to you know, any trauma to the brain, there's going to be a swelling, and you've got to give it time to recover. So that's what's going to happen with that. So I don't think we're praying for an injury time winner yet. I don't think it's anything like that. I think we're in a situation where obviously he has been seriously ill, but it's been dealt with, and hopefully everything's going to be fine. So I don't want people to look. It's a time for thinking. It's a time for remembering what he's done for us, and it's a time for focusing on the good. I apologise to the mods because, you know, there's people there who just, you know what, if you see a negative comment in there, and Timothy is a Liverpool fan saying get well soon, if you see somebody who's negative, the moderators will just block them. Don't reply to them. Don't reply to them. They're absolutely irrelevant, sad people, and they may think that they can come back at us because of what I'm about to say now. But you know you're sad and insignificant. You know you are. You're on a Saturday night typing about a great man trying to wind people up. You know you're sad and insignificant, and I know, looking into your eyes, you know it, and that makes me smile because you think you're winding everybody else up, but you know inside, as I'm saying this to you, you are sad people. And it's a fact. And that's why I don't care what you put in the comments, because the vast majority of people on this comment thing and in life are good people, and they're all that matter. You don't. So carry on with your sad little comments. No one's listening. Anyway, all pray for Sir Alex, says Tazar, and legend get well, says Sicko. Why would some, I'm not talking about that. Look, we are rivals, but I respect Fergie for everything he did for football. Legendary manager, says Timothy YNWA. Look, and you know what? That's what I was trying to say before, but I couldn't think of an example, thank God, because we've not really had that. But in relation to, like, look, Kenny Dalglish, what he's done for Liverpool, if he was seriously ill, there's no way any United fan or any United stand community would be saying good or anything like that. I know what Kenny Dalglish did for Liverpool with the doubles and things like that. You know, real football fans unite when it comes to this, and that is all that matters, isn't it? Don't. So I think I've said everything that needs to be said. I don't need to say anything more. If you're not watching live, or you are watching live, I think let's just get some comments below. You know, what Sir Alex Ferguson means to you, best wishes, things like that. Let's make it a comment section below the video. That just, if somebody doesn't know anything much about Sir Alex Ferguson, the younger fans or anything like that, just use it as something that you can, you know, because it's not, you know, we're not going to know for a while now. The family want privacy and they should get privacy, but we're not going to know what the situation is in relation to his recovery. Hopefully it's a full one. We don't know. So, you know, it's difficult not knowing, but you've got to respect that. And the reality is he's had the operation. They've said it's gone well. He's now in intensive care. And we pray for him, and we hope everything is going to go well. But just, if you're not watching live or you have watched live, come back, drop a comment in below, and just talk. You know, things like this, communication is really, really important. And we are united with the football world behind him. And yeah, I don't profess to stay live any longer. It was literally just for us to come together and put a definitive out there, because not everybody's on Twitter, not everyone's got access to the internet, and this is what we're at. So thanks everybody. Do get your comments in below, and we'll reply to some of those. And yeah, there is a link in the video description, because I am meant to be doing a watch along for this David Hay versus Tony Bellew fight. I've paid for it, so I'm going to watch it. I don't know. I'm not feeling the watch along anymore, but I might do it. Let's see how I feel in half an hour. Mr. Exclusive says Sir Alex Ferguson will lead himself to wellness like he is a leader of men. Get well, boss, gaffer, legend. You are a god of United. What a lovely comment that is. Thanks everyone for watching. If you are watching the fight, I might be on the live stream in about half an hour's time. I might not. You know, at the end of the day, we've got to be strong. We've got to carry on with our life and be strong for Sir Alex. I know it's a bit of a cliche saying that, but we have, you know. And let's think of the good. Let's send positive vibes. Let's think of the good. So yeah, I'll see you on the Hey Bello watch along in about half an hour. But get your comments in below, and we'll don't worry. I've got rid of Alpha Obsel. Up yours, mate. He's gone. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching, and get your comments in below. And obviously, it goes without saying, we all, the football world. Sending my best. Speak to you soon.